All right, everybody, welcome in St. John's and Marquette, 25-20. St. John's with a lead first quarter. Thank you for joining the broadcast here. Locked Up Sports, I'm Bob Walters. This is St. John's basketball on Locked Up Sports. St. John's with a 5-point lead in Marquette. UConn has already lost tonight to Creighton in a big upset. Number 5 team in the country goes into Stores and upsets UConn. So St. John's right now is alone atop the Big East standings. They will try to stay there with a win tonight here in Milwaukee. 25-22 St. John's with the lead and with the ball. So they got out to a good start. They had a 7-point lead, but Marquette has hung tough for most of the game here, for most of this first half. Ball up. All right, so St. John's does not score. Just trying to get everything together here now. We'll be with you with the game in 1 second. Marquette goes in. The rebound to St. John's, stripped right back to Marquette, but a foul called on Parham for Marquette. We'll reset it for you here in a second. So St. John's with a 25-22 lead. And it looks like there's an injured St. John's player on the ground. Looks like it's going to be Sannon. Who was, looks like he just twisted. No, it's not Sannon. I'm sorry. Sannon was right next to him. Is it Mitchell? It is Jackson down on the ground with a twist. He twisted his ankle. He's going to stay in the game, though. Second. There we go. 25-22 St. John's with the ball. Darling now in the Division I Player of the Week. Darling looks, hands it off left side for Sannon, who misses the shot. Rebound was put back up and in. And St. John's has a 5-point lead, 27-22. Here comes Marquette back the other way. Hamilton has it. Hamilton looking, driving. Norman now, and the whistle and a travel by Norman, and St. John's a turnover. Gives St. John's the ball back. 27-22 with the lead. 5:47 to go. First half. UConn has already lost tonight, so again, big chance here for St. John's to get themselves a little bit of a cushion lead in the Big East. Darling has the ball in the front court. Gives it now to Hamilton. Left side, drives, and a foul called on Parham of Marquette. Marquette having a rough year here this year. Shaka Smart, 9-17 overall, 4-11 in the conference. But as we saw in UConn, anything could happen. Anybody could lose on any day, really. Darling, 23 points in the game against Providence. He played a really inspired basketball against them. He will inbound for St. John's. Inbounds and caught by Hamilton and puts it in, or by Hopkins, puts it in, and St. John's has a 7-point lead. Here comes Marquette up the floor into the front court. James goes all the way coast to coast and finger rolls with the right hand in. 5-point lead for St. John's. Darling into the front court, looks to bounce pass, kicked away by Hamilton and into the backcourt. So it'll be a kick ball. It'll be St. John's will retain possession. 5:09 to go here in the first half. 29-24. St. John's with the lead. Marquette hanging tough here. St. John's beat them by 24 points earlier in the season. In a home game for St. John's. Ejiofor has it up top for St. John's in the front court. Drives and he loses the handle, and here comes Marquette with the ball. It's Ross all the way. Finger roll, misses the layup, but is fouled. And he will shoot a pair. So sloppy play from St. John's here now in the last couple possessions. Darling is now limping. Looks like he got, I don't know, he's holding his side maybe. But a slow start here for St. John's. They turn it over a couple times. Sloppy, playing sloppy. St. John's just 48% from the field, 12 of 25. The first free throw from Ross is good. St. John's with 3 turnovers. Marquette sloppy too, though. They have 6 turnovers already themselves. DePaul and Seton Hall in the other game going on right now. 57-52 DePaul lead. The other Big East game going on right now. St. John's, Darling, the head fake, comes up the court, has numbers, running into the lane, right hand, up and in. He gets the roll and the foul. Let's see what they call. I think they're gonna give him the bucket. Let's see. It was Leopold. Did he touch it? Interference? No, he didn't touch. Oh, maybe he did while it was in the cylinder. Hopkins went in for the follow. He might have touched it in the cylinder. I think he did. That's not going to count. Leopoldus put the ball up. Sorry, Leotopoulos. Leopoldus, listen to me. Yeah. So, Leotopoulos at the line, hits the first one. And he hit 1 of 2. Oh, they counted the bucket. Okay, 31-30. Here comes Marquette back the other way. James has it, puts it up, no good, but he's fouled. And he'll go to the line. See who the foul is on. Darling has exited the game. Good coast to coast. This kid James is pretty good. He's playing a good point guard. He's going coast to coast now a couple of times here in the first half. 31-26 is your score as the first one bounces in. Nigel James, 3-time Big East player of the freshman of the week, averages over 19 points a game. And he's had 3 30-point games. Misses the second one, no good. Rebound to St. John's. And Jackson will bring it up court. Gives it now to Hamilton on the left side. A little bit of a trap. They get it into the front court, and a foul, and a nope, and another turnover by St. John's, an offensive foul. This one on Hopkins. St. John's continues to play sloppy. Let's see what he did here. He got double teamed just as he came over. Now they called the travel. He did. He traveled. He went up and down with the ball. And another turnover for St. John's. In this 11-game win streak, they've averaged just about 8 turnovers a game. They are already up. I mean, they're up near that number already. Marquette with the ball in the front court. James has it. Left-hand dribble being guarded by Leopoldus. Looking, back. 3-pointer coming from Marquette. Air ball, no good. Kept in, but now St. John's brings it into the front court with numbers. St. John's. Here's another sloppy pass and another turnover by St. John's. Back comes James, and he goes all the way, no good, out of bounds, and it's going the other way to St. John's. Last touched by Marquette. Stevens took it the whole way, tried to lay it up, missed the layup. And St. John's has a 4-point lead, 31-27, 4:05 to go here in the first half. Let's see who it went out on. It's going to be close. That might be out on St. John's. I'm not sure. Nope, they're going to... Yep, they changed the call, so it's Marquette ball inbounding in the front court. Parham has it, back it in. Parham against Hamilton. Pivots, now turnaround, right-hand jumper, and it's good. Oh, pretty shot by Royce Parham for Marquette. And it's a 2-point game with just under 4 minutes to go. Certainly not as easy as St. John's thought it would be coming in here. They've turned the ball over. They played sloppy. And Marquette has taken advantage. 2-point St. John's lead. 3:35 to go. Ball in the front court. Here's Leopoldus for 3. A long 3. Buries it. Oh, big shot. St. John's needed that. A 3. And it's 34-29. Marquette has it now into the front court. Stevens turnaround. No good to Ross with the rebound, and he gets it. And it's back to a 3-point game. Jackson brings it up for St. John's. just over the timeline. Nice pass. Leopoldis puts up a 3 for the top of 2 for the top of the key, and it's good. Foul called away from the shot. And let's see what they're going to do here. That's good. The bucket should count. 3:03 to go first half. We'll sort it out. 34-31. St. John's with the lead. Marquette's playing them tight, though. This is St. John's basketball on Locked Up Sports.
The last class of the day for my student athletes isn't English, science, or math. It's school sports, where the #1 priority is teaching, just like every other classroom. As their coach, I help them grow as leaders and become better people, preparing them for the game and, more importantly, for life. That's why the best wins are the lessons they learn, which will impact them long after their playing days are over. Encourage your student to participate in school sports.
This message presented by the NFHS and the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
New York sports fans are some of the best fans in the world. They're knowledgeable, engaged, and passionate, and they expect nothing less from the shows they listen to. Everyone agrees when it comes to talking sports, there's the new authority. Whether it's former New York athletes,
hey, this is Doc Good.
This is Cole Norn, familiar sports talk voices.
Everybody, this is Don LaGreca.
Hi, everybody. It's Bob Huschler from The Fan.
Or you, the fans. Locked Up Sports is bringing you the best New York sports talk on the internet.
As a referee, I pay attention for a living. While I'm busy watching the game, I need your help keeping an eye on the stands. If you see something suspicious, make the right call. Tell a law enforcement official.
If you see something, say something is used with permission by the New York Metropolitan Transportation Authority.
All right, we're back here at Marquette in Milwaukee. 36-31 St. John's with the lead. 3:03 to go in the first half. St. John's playing sloppy. UConn has lost already tonight in a big upset at home, getting beat by Creighton. That was one of the early games here on this Big East Wednesday night. DePaul and Seton Hall are also in action right now, but Marquette hanging with St. John's, 5-point lead for the Johnnies. They go for their 12th. They're going for their 12th straight win. They've won 11 in a row. They're one of the hottest teams in the country. 10 straight Big East road wins. That's a record. Over 5-point margin of victory in all the games. 7th best in the NCAA. And the 11-game win streak is 3 shy of the Big East record. St. John's holds part of that. They 84-85, the Final Four team that year won 11 straight Big East, won 14 straight Big East games. This team has 11. And they try to make it 12 tonight. Got to be careful in this Big East, though. Like you said, Marquette's one of the bottom feeders in the Big East. Just 4-11 in the conference. They only have 9 wins overall. This is probably just going to be a 3-team league going to the tournament with St. John's, UConn, and Villanova. But, you could lose any night. You got to come and play. St. John's a little sloppy so far here in the first half. I'll tell you that much. They've definitely not played their best game, but inbounding under the hoop. Here's Leotopoulos again with a 3. No good. Rebound fought for and out of bounds to Marquette. Looked like he might have went over the back of Hopkins. No call, though. Let's see. Yeah, they were fighting for it, but nothing called. It looks like it went off for St. John's, though. It's going to be Marquette ball. Jackson leads St. John's with, Hopkins with 7 points leads St. John's. Up top now, Hopkins has it for St. John's. Jackson, now Ejiofor. Ejiofor picks up his dribble at the top of the key, leaves it for Hopkins. Hopkins between the leg dribble now takes a shot, 17-footer, and it rounds around and in. Good play by Hopkins. And St. John's with a 7-point lead, 2.5 to go. Ross has it for Marquette. Up top now to Stevens. Stevens gives it to Parham. Parham into the paint, looking challenged. Good defense by Ejiofor. He blocks the shot. Stevens gets it back, swings it left side all the way for gold, and he misses the 3. And St. John's gets the rebound. So St. John's looking to build on a 7-point lead. They got the ball in the front court. Jackson, the Leopoldis. Inside now, Ejiofor has it all the way across the court for a three, and it's good by Sannon. Oh, big shot. St. John's has hit their last couple threes. They've pushed it up now to 10 points. 10-point lead for the Johnnies, 41-31, 1:45 to go. Marquette with the ball in the front court. Stevens has it up near the label near midcourt. Stevens double teamed, gets it over left side to Ross. Ross drives into the paint, now kicks it left side for the corner for a three, and it's no good. Rebound and a foul called against Gold of Marquette. Owens took the three from the corner. It was no good. And now, let's see what they called here. I thought they called it on Marquette. No, it looks like it might be on Sellers. Sellers did not start tonight because of a little bit of an injury. He was replaced by Sannon in the starting lineup, but he's in there now. So free throws here. First one, good. St. John's is in the bonus. Marquette with the possession arrow, in case it gets to that. 92 seconds to go in the first half. Here comes the second free throw, and it rims around and in. 41-33 is your score. 1:25 to go in the first half. St. John's brings it into the front court. Sellers has it. Now Ejiofor at the top of the key. Hands it off to Jackson. Jackson behind the back to Sellers now. Driving into the lane, and it's Mitchell. He gets it inside to the Ejiofor, and he is fouled going up, a hard foul. It looked like he caught a hand in the face. And Ejiofor will go to the line, looking for his first points of the game. I'll tell you, St. John's, they've really struggled scoring here. Prey with 4. Leopoldis with 7. He leads the team. First free throw for Ejiofor is good. Here comes the second one now from Ejiofor. Front rim, no good. Offensive rebound to St. John's. Puts it up and in. Hopkins. Hopkins put it in. 44-33 with a minute to go. Timeout, Marquette. Exactly 1 minute to go. Good rebound by Hopkins on the missed free throw. Puts it back. St. John's with an 11-point lead, their largest of the game, with just a minute to go in the first half. This is St. John's basketball on Locked Up Sports. We'll be back.
Baseball is right around the corner. Warm weather, blue skies, and the crack of the bat. Spring training is here. Nobody covers the Yankees. Nobody covers the Mets like Locked Up Sports. Daily expert takes all season long the best baseball coverage on the internet.
I'm Bob Walters, host of Locked Up Sports, the best New York sports talk on the internet. Join myself and Brett Grasso every week as we break down all the happenings from the best sports town in the world and have conversations with some of the biggest names in New York sports, including former Mets general manager Steve Phillips.
We need a star player, but let's go get Piazza, and I finally got approval to do it.
The man who revolutionized special teams in the NFL, Coach Mike Westhoff.
But, all the things that he got accused of, he did them all. I know. Trust me, I know. He did them all.
And New York sports talk legend Joe Beningo, just to name a few.
But they gave this guy $35 million a year, $350 million for 10 years. What the hell were they thinking with this guy?
Yeah. If you're a sports fan, this is the podcast for you. We have all the insights, laughs, and entertaining perspectives you crave. Whether you're looking for...
All right, we're back. 44-33. Exactly 1 minute left in the first half. A little bit of a struggle here for St. John's. Patino's had said, not Patino, listen to me. They talked about that they want to play defense a lot better than they have. St. John's didn't like the defense they were playing. They've turned the ball over a couple times here. It's been sloppy in the first half. That's, all you could say is that it's definitely been sloppy in the first half for St. John's. Marquette at the line, misses the free throw. St. John's with the rebound. They're going to bring it up. Here, they could go for a 2-for-1 if they hurry. Ejiofor has the top of the key, hands it off. Now it's Mitchell. Bounce pass. Ejiofor thinks about the three, thinks again. Now Mitchell drives in the lane to Sannon, and he drives at an offensive foul as he went barreling into the lane, knocked over James, who went down on his back, and an offensive foul called. And another turnover for the Johnnies. Yeah, I mean, that was a little touchy. I don't know if, he threw his arm out and pushed the guy away as he was driving past him. That's an offensive foul. So, good call by the officials. Patino not happy. That's Salmon for doing it. Listen, he just threw off the guy, the defender, with his left arm, and then he went in for the runner. This lead that was at 10, just, what seems like moments ago, back down to 5. I'm sorry, it's at 11 now. Referees are discussing something there on the sideline. I guess maybe to see if it... St. John's with 11-point lead, 41 seconds to go in the first half. Marquette is in the bonus, the double bonus. They do have the possession arrow if it gets to that. UConn has already lost tonight, of course. That's the big story going around. The number 5 team in the country, upset at home by Creighton. And, just something you didn't see coming. But St. John's currently now stands alone atop the Big East. They try and stay up there with a win here today. Looking to get the ball in. They do. They just get it in to James. James has it. 35 seconds to go. James across midcourt. James looks to drive into the paint. Pulls up for a 13-footer, and he banks it at home. James with another big one there. 44-35. St. John's now can hold for a final shot as the shot clock is turned off. Ejiofor has it. Sannon now. Sannon as they work around the three-point line. Sannon dribbling out near the label. 7 seconds to go. Hands it off to Hamilton. Looking, gets it to Ejiofor. They gotta go. 1 second. No, they're not gonna get it off. No shot. Good defense by Marquette and a terrible possession by St. John's to end the half. And we have 20 minutes in the books. Sloppy first half by St. John's. They do have the lead, 44-35. But listen, they have not really played very well so far in the first half. 44-35. St. John's has the lead. We'll be back with you for the second half. Talk to you in a little while, everybody.
Prescribes the best lawn care specific to your yard's needs, delivered every season. Because when you want greener grass, less weeds, and fewer bugs, you can get a personalized prescription delivered free from the helpful folks at Ace. Subscribe now and save 20% on everything you need all year. From our store to your front door, with service so good it's guaranteed.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Excuse me, can I have your attention, please? Buffalo Wild Wings Pick 6 for $19.99 is the perfect meal for 2. Your choice of 2 entrees, 2 sides, and 2 drinks. Pick 6 meal for 2 for $19.99. Grab a friend and head to Buffalo Wild Wings.
Everyone's getting that new Simply Safe outdoor monitoring.
How do we compete with AI-powered outdoor cameras and live agent monitoring?
Stop. This is Simply Safe.
Whoa! I didn't even see those guys. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Brace your taste buds. The new DQ Flamethrower Chicken Strip Basket comes with cool DQ soft serve as a dip for just $6.99. Add one of our new Tajin lemonades. It's the new spicy menu, only for a limited time.
You've earned this, so hold it up high. This isn't just a restoration. It's a revival because you know there's value in making space for your people. You are a fighter, and this is your reward. Medalla, the mark of a fighter.
You know somebody lost their life. I had no idea.
Who made you the teller of my truth? We fought the whole club because you're a hoe. Is I can control.
I'm tired of being called a liar.
Why you text her in the middle of the night? I feel like you don't be having my back like I have yours.
Girl,
Check your girl, man.
Don't bring your whole name up.
I'm down.
Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, all new Tuesdays at 8 on MTV.
The storm came through with 120-mile-an-hour winds through our neighborhood. My daughter had to evacuate to our house while we were out of town. Sure enough, power goes out. When the generator kicked back on, it, of course, powered the Spectrum modem. She didn't lose service, and we didn't lose connectivity with her through the entire storm. We both breathed a sigh of relief. To have her feel safe and us feel reassured that she was okay was priceless.
Real customers, real reliability. To get the most reliable internet, visit spectrum.com/stay connected.
An opportunity has presented itself, and St. John's is storming away in the first half. It's Al McGuire night at Fiserv Forum, but it's all Johnny's. A 9-point lead as the guards are getting going. Bryce Hopkins making buckets. Welcome to AT&T at the half. We're here in the illustrious Studio B in Atlanta, Georgia. We're going to be here for March Madness as well. I got Monster Mashburn. I got Jalen Rose, and down there, that adorable man is Coach Bruce Pearl. Let's take a look at the AT&T moments that matter. We're going to start off with Coach. St. John's hitting three. What's going on?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Inside-out basketball, second chance points. Ian Jackson shoulder the square up. He's only playing 14 minutes in his last 3 games. He steps up and knocks down a couple here. Again, pretty good ball movement. Sellers has come as a really good shooter. You know, when Rick Pitino had this team last year, they were a great defensive team, but they couldn't shoot the three. Struggled, lost in the second round of the NCAA tournament. He was just not going to let that happen again. Okay, this basketball team has got better throughout the season, and here's why. He brought in good offensive players. He taught them how to play defense. They weren't playing defense like they were supposed to early this season. They are now. Why is St. John's winning on the road? Defense, rebounding, it travels. They take good care of the basketball. St. John's is probably one of the most improved teams from November to February in college basketball.
And you see that when it comes to depth as well. The bench tonight, an example.
Yeah, they've showed up on the road, which is going to be vital if they're going to win games moving forward, because you can't just start with the starters all the time. Sometimes you need that relief pitcher to come in and knock down a few shots, and Sella did a remarkable job of knocking down a three-point shot. You see Ruben there, able to play defense and get out in transition, and Shannon right here with the finish here. So 21 points from the bench. Sellers knocking down that mid-range jump shot. I think they're going to need more of that. And for a guy that's played for Coach Pitino, you're going to be in shape even if you don't play minutes throughout the course of the game because the practices are so tough. So he finds a way to keep the bench players engaged and in shape in the game so they can contribute when the time counts.
21 bench points, 23 starters points. When you have a game where Zuby Ejiofor has 1 point, 2 assists, and no rebounds, and you're up 9 points, the team is playing great. Other side, how's Marquette getting it done?
If Marquette's going to stay in this game, let alone win the game, in the first half, you see they were getting it done in the paint. 11 of their 13 field goals were in the colored area. And usually you're not able to go one-on-one on the post like this against St. John's, but Parham and the other bigs are doing a really good job. And there you see Nigel James finally getting loose and making a drive to the basket. And if they're going to make only 2 threes in a half, that's not going to get it done. But what's keeping them in it right now, at least, is they're scoring in the paint.
Coach, do you think there's any chance that this St. John's team is aware that UConn lost tonight?
100%.
Do you think they're talking about it at all?
I don't know. I don't know they're talking about it right now, but look, teams want to make history. St. John's has a chance to win a Big East championship, right? And they right now control their own destiny. Now, it's going to be a very interesting tiebreaker, okay, as we move forward. Because right now, if they both win out, they play one more time against each other. If UConn wins that game and they win the rest of the game, they will split. What they'll do then is they'll go down to the next highest team. It'll be Creighton versus Providence. Creighton beat UConn. So therefore, UConn would be the #1 seed. But they'll still be co-champions. St. John's is playing for a Big East championship and to improve their seeding.
One thing I will say, Coach Pitino is a master of the media. That's why he's so great in this New York media market, because he knows everything that's going around. So he's gotten information that UConn has lost.
So what are we expecting Pitino to say after this game? Like, what's your Pitino prediction?
I don't think he says much after this particular game. I think he's going to leave it on the players and about the game from Marquette, and then he's going to carry it on in practice and get the other team up for it.
Speaking of leaving on the players, y'all know each player is in the locker room looking at their phone
right now.
Right.
Yeah.
So
but they still got
know.
They still got to win the game.
Oh,
I mean, they still got to win the game.
Yes.
Right. And look, Royce Barham can get it done for Marquette, has over 24 points in the last 2 games, and each of them already has 11 in this one. They got some stud freshmen for Marquette. Could they get it done on Al McGuire night? More halftime coming up after this.
Is approved for the treatment of relapsing forms of multiple sclerosis in adults. Ponvory lowers the number of white blood cells, lymphocytes, in your blood. Usually, this will return to normal within 1 to 2 weeks of stopping treatment. Ponvory can increase your risk of serious infections that can be life-threatening and may cause death. Ponvory can cause your heart rate to slow down, especially after you take your first dose. Do not take Ponvory if in the last 6 months you had a heart attack, unstable angina, stroke, or other severe heart conditions, including certain types of abnormal heart rhythm. The most common side effects of Ponvory include upper respiratory tract infections, elevated liver enzymes, and high blood pressure. Starting treatment with Ponvory will begin with the starter pack. Ask your doctor about Ponvory or visit ponvory.com to learn more. By Vanda Pharmaceuticals.
When a shopping cart smashed my headlight, we worried we'd have to fight to get paid for such a small claim.
And life would revolve around the shopping cart. But that never happened. Geico got it fixed fast.
Zip time. It feels good to get going again. It feels good to Geico.
On this ship, you represent His Royal Majesty and shall dress accordingly.
Sorry, is there any leeway on the uniform? It's so itchy. It's wool. I mean, what genius thought of wool at sea and these shoes? We were thinking flippy floppies, perhaps. It just lets the toes breathe. I mean, it's just an idea. Think about it.
No!
Right.
Flip-flops cool?
Very cool. Right this way.
Norwegian Cruise Line. It's different out here.
When you're connected with Spectrum, you get 5G and fiber-powered internet combined for the fastest wireless speeds. So you can sweat for the right reasons. It's only the seamless connection you love at home, everywhere you go. It's only everything.
You're watching AT&T at the half. Connecting changes everything.
Highlight of the night happened on TNT. Creighton, UConn. How about this guy, Josh Dix, throwing it down. Two-handed slam. Braylon Mullins, we had him on our air. Knocks down the 3 right before halftime. At halftime, they honored Emeka Okafor, retiring his number, the 3rd Huskies men player to get his number retired. And it was tied again. And Dix at it again, hits the 3 to retake the lead. Creighton with a lead. And then Dix dishing it out to Blake Harper. This was the nail in the coffin.
It was a great win by Creighton. That coach, McDermott, is the only one in the NCAA has at least 10 wins against Dan Hurley.
And that is not a guy you beat often. BYU, Arizona, no Richie Saunders for BYU, no Koa Pete for Arizona. AJ DePanza. DePanza can do it all himself. Jaden Bradley pulling up, mid-range jumper. Then Bradley's going to find his freshman backcourt mate Burries. Arizona clinging to a lead.
I'm sticking with them. They're still in my platinum bracket. Koa Pete, we hope he get healthy soon.
Yeah, maybe he'll miss 1, 2 games. Hopefully not more than that. Darren Peterson, the man is en fuego. Tough three-pointer. That's a pro play right there. Coming off the screen, coach. And then the drive and the lay-in. 13 of the first 17 for KU.
Yeah, he was ready to go tonight for sure. He was tired of listening to all the noise.
20 of their 37 points at that spot. Darren Peterson is special.
Pretty stroke, man. I mean, I love the way he plays. Don't pause me on that one. But
I didn't have to. You did it yourself. The Red Storm are up 9. Brian Anderson's up next. We don't got to worry about him. We'll see you guys at postgame.
I'm your overly competitive brother. Psych, and I'm about to steal this game from you, just like I stole Kelly Carter in high school, huh? Foul! And now you're ready to settle a score. Game over. And if you don't have the right home insurance coverage, well, you can end up paying for all this yourself. So get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem. Yeah, like me. Thanks, bro. Take a lap, rookie. Switch to Allstate and you can save hundreds. What are you waiting for? Make your move before I do.
That guard dog sure is lucky he has Simply Safe with proactive monitoring.
Stop. This is Simply Safe.
Police are on the way.
Must be nice. Simply Safe. Real security stops crime before it starts.
At Hunt, we believe in the power of dreams. Only dreams can turn a pursuit into a mission, passion into positive energy, teamwork into a work of art. Because once you have a dream, there's no telling how far you can go. That's why Hunt is proudly supporting Team USA's Olympic and Paralympic teams.
Introducing new frosted sodas and floats. Float, hop, spin, and slide like an original. The original Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich and new frosted sodas and floats. Only at Chick-fil-A.
Your mental health is better. But having uncontrollable body movements called TD, tardive dyskinesia, can feel embarrassing.
I asked my doctor about treating my TD with
Ingrezza. #1 prescribed Ingrezza reduced TD movements by greater than 10 times, with most seeing a response as early as 2 weeks. And you can keep taking most mental health meds.
Ingrezza can cause depression, suicidal thoughts, or actions in patients with Huntington's disease. Call your doctor if you become depressed, have sudden behavior, mood changes, or suicidal thoughts. Don't take Ingrezza if allergic. Serious side effects may include allergic reactions like sudden, potentially fatal swelling and hives, sleepiness, the most common side effect, and heart rhythm problems. Know how Ingrezza affects you before operating a car or dangerous machinery. Report fever, stiff muscles, or problems thinking, as these might be life-threatening. Shaking, stiffness, drooling, and trouble with moving or balance may occur.
taking control starts with asking your doctor about Ingrezza.
Ingrezza.
There is no place like Madison Square Garden. This is special, guys. You're playing in that building. It's a different animal than anywhere else. It is a complete sellout. This is Big East basketball at its best. We are in the thick of it.
Ash Wednesday on an unseasonably warm February night in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Fiserv Forum, home of the Marquette Golden Eagles. St. John's leads it by 9, their biggest lead 11. Brian Anderson with Robbie Hummel. We'll hear from Andy in just a moment. St. John's showed you why they are the class of the league, the way they finished that first half.
Well, they really did, and the three-point line has been kind to the Johnnies here in this one. They've been struggling in 3 games coming in, but here tonight, 6 of 14 from 3. Some of the guards that have been struggling. You're talking about Sandin, Jackson, Sellers. Those guys 5 of 9 from the three-point line. Certainly the glass going to be the game. The turnovers will be a factor as well. But on the flip side of that, BA, Marquette has done their work inside the three-point arc. 11 of 20 on 2s, just 2 of 9 on the 3s.
St. John's has the lead, and Zuby Ejiofor has 1 point. He's not made a field goal just yet. A report from both locker rooms. We send it over to our Hall of Famer, Andy Katz.
Well, thank you, guys. And I talked to Shaka Smart walking off the court. Actually had to run with him off the court. And he was pleased with that last offensive possession of the first half because there were active hands. They got to continue to do that here at the beginning.
All right, we're back. Second half, about to get underway here. St. John's with a 9-point lead, 44-35. Marquette with the ball into the lane. Goes James, and he lays it in for the bucket, 44-37. just underway second half. St. John's sloppy in the first half, but they hit their threes. They built up a 9-point lead. Marquette's hung with them, though. St. John's won big. UConn has already lost tonight. St. John's looking to secure first place as the right-hander from Ejiofor, the hook shot, no good off the back of the rim. And here comes Marquette into the front court. Ross has it. Ross dribbling top of the key, being guarded by Hopkins. Ross has it. Good pass off into the lane. Good defense by St. John's here. James now spinning into the lane, putting it up, and a foul. And that was Parham. And they're going to call an offensive foul. Parham on the offensive foul. Parham leads with 13 points for Marquette. St. John's with the ball now in the front court. Sannon drives, puts up the runner. It's around and in. Count it, and the foul. I believe. Did they call the foul on the floor? I'm not sure. Sannon's going to go to the line here. Nope, it's going to be out of bounds. No foul. They didn't call it. Here's Sannon now for the jump shot. No good. Rebound to Marquette. James into the front court for Marquette. Guarded by Sannon. James looks, drives into the paint. 15-footer up and off the rim and good. Got a soft roll off the front of the rim. And here comes Marquette. 4 straight points. They trail by 5. Marquette only 2 3-pointers in the first half, but they did outscore St. John's pretty big in the paint. Hopkins and another turnover from St. John's, and here comes Marquette with numbers down the floor. Ross has it, puts up a fadeaway, spin around, no good, tapped in by Parham, and just like that, 6 straight points for Marquette, and it's a 3-point St. John lead, 44-41, timeout Johnnies. As Marquette has come right out here storming in the second half. 6 straight points to start the half. And St. John's now with a 44-39 lead. Whoa, that is exactly what Marquette needed to do. As they come out here in the second half and just St. John's started to stretch the lead a little bit in the last, I'd say, 3-4 minutes of the first half. They got it up to 10. They got it up to 11. This was their largest lead. Marquette had it down to 9, and that's where the half ended, and then 6 straight points right out of the gate for the Golden Eagles, and they are right in this thing, 44-41. Boy, it'd be something, huh, if St. John's and UConn both lost tonight, if the 2 upsets by 2 teams not very good in this league, in the Big East. So, maybe it's one of those nights. We'll see. But St. John's, Pitino's going to have this team, going to have them playing better. They got to play better. They can't be sloppy with the ball. They were sloppy on that last possession when Hopkins turned it over. And Marquette came right down with numbers. Haven't seen much of Dylan Darling tonight, who is the Division I Player of the Week by the Men's Basketball Writers Association. He was voted Player of the Week last week for a big game in Providence. St. John's, of course, had the big brawl after the hard foul on Hopkins. There were suspensions in that afterwards. They were for Providence. 2 guys on Providence suspended both 3 games. St. John's did get 3 men tossed out of that game, but no suspensions for the Red Storm because of the brawl. I mean, they had a couple guys come off the bench. It was a whole melee. I'm sure you've seen it by now at this point. St. John's, the leading scorer for St. John's is Hopkins with 11. Darling only 6 minutes played in this one. I'm not sure if he got injured or what, but you'd think he'd be out there getting more minutes. But they've been giving them to Sannon and Jackson. Jackson has not played much lately for St. John's, but tonight, 14 minutes, 6 points, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. So, coming out of the timeout here, You got Marquette shooting 48%, St. John's 51%. Only 2 for 9 from the three-point range for Marquette, though. They got to improve on that if they're going to want to keep pace here with St. John's. Full court press from Marquette here. St. John's going to try and get it up. Good defense. He's got to get it over. He's got to get it over the line. He does. And now the handoff is to Jackson. Left wing, Hopkins. Tries to throw a bad pass. It's almost picked off. And Ejiofor gets it back into the corner. Here comes a three. No good. Air ball. And again, another bad possession by St. John's as they almost threw it away. And then just a bad shot from the corner. Here's James. James has the top of the key. James sets up the offense for Marquette. 3-point St. John's lead. 17 and a half to go. Here's Parfour. Parfour looking, gives it now to Stevens. Stevens back to Parfour. Fakes the three. Looks to drive. Baseline. Back out. Stevens for three. No good off the rim. And a rebound to St. John's. Foul called on Marquette and over the back. But oh man, Stevens had a wide open three from the right wing. And he just missed it. Sellers enters the game now for St. John's. And Hopkins goes to the bench. He's catching an earful from Patino there. The two bad possessions straight. Two bad passes by Hopkins. One of them was a turnover. The other one could have been, should have been. St. John's with the ball now, front court. Here is Jackson. Jackson. Sellers now into the corner. Mitchell's got it. Bounces it into Ejiofor. Ejiofor looking, throws up a wild left-hander. No good off the front of the rim. And back the other way comes Marquette. James has it. Being guarded by Mitchell. James looks to drive between the legs. Drives baseline right side. Throws up a hook shot and he got it in the foul. Oh, pretty shot by Nigel James Jr. And it's a 1-point game. Man. Sannon picked him up on the switch, and James just went right to the baseline and threw up a runner with his right hand. Nothing but net with the foul, and they could tie it with a free throw here. And Marquette, the student section and the crowd here is starting to believe. For the tie. No good. Front of the rim. Rebound to St. John's. Mitchell with the rebound. Darling is now in the game for St. John's. Here comes Sannon with the runner. No good. And a foul. So Sannon will shoot some free throws for St. John's. Mitchell entered the game now. He's only played 6 minutes. See if he gives St. John's a spark. One-point lead. St. John's really an 8, being outscored 8-1. I'm sorry, 8-0 here in the second half. 16:21 to go. Darling inbound long pass, throws it into the backcourt, and it's run down nicely. Oh, that was dangerous. St. John's now into the front court. Darling has the left side. Right hand dribble up to the top of the key. Has it now. It's Mitchell. Mitchell drives right hand. Darling for three from the right wing. No good off the back of the iron. Rebound to Marquette. And again, they will have a chance to take their first lead of the game. Into the front court. It's James. James has it. He's feeling it here. He has a couple good plays here. And gives it to Parfour. Gold now. Here's a three. Got it. 3-pointer for Marquette. They have a 2-point lead. St. John's now. Good pass by Darling into the baseline. Oh, and it's good. Darling with a lob pass inside to Ejiofor, who put it in off the glass. Here's another three. No good. Rebound to St. John's. Darling with the rebound, and he's going to bring it up into the front court. Tie game at 46. Ejiofor with a nice bounce pass to a running, and it's blocked. Darling went up with it. He was blocked. Oh, what a block by James. James inside right hand, throws it up. No good. A wild layup. Here comes St. John's. James is on the floor in the backcourt. Oh, and Darling tries a bounce pass. He throws it off of Ejiofor, off of his leg, out of bounds. A turnover for St. John's. But James with a big-time block on Darling on a good pass. And he just swatted that thing out of there and just took it the other way. 46-46, 14:53 to go. Second half. This is St. John's basketball on Locked Up Sports.
The last class of the day for my student athletes isn't English, science, or math. It's school sports, where the #1 priority is teaching, just like every other classroom. As their coach, I help them grow as leaders and become better people, preparing them for the game and, more importantly, for life. That's why the best wins are the lessons they learn, which will impact them long after their playing days are over. Encourage your student to participate in school sports.
This message presented by the NFHS and the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
New York sports fans are some of the best fans in the world. They're knowledgeable, engaged, and passionate, and they expect nothing less from the shows they listen to. Everyone agrees when it comes to talking sports, there's a new authority. Whether it's former New York athletes,
hey, this is Doc Good.
This is Colton Orr, familiar sports talk voices.
Everybody, this is Don LaGreca. Hi, everybody. It's Bob Huesler from The Fan.
Or you, the fans. Locked Up Sports is bringing you the best New York sports talk on the internet.
As a referee, I pay attention for a living. While I'm busy watching the game, I need your help keeping an eye on the stands. If you see something suspicious, make the right call. Tell a law enforcement official.
If you see something, say something is used with permission by the New York Metropolitan Transportation Authority.
All right, so St. John's and Marquette, 46-46. Marquette has come out really playing inspired here. The start of the second half, they opened up an 8-0 run. They tied the game. Still, then they took the lead on a 3 by James. Parham has had a big game. He had a big game in the first half. Nigel James Jr. is having himself a big second half so far. And St. John's is kind of stuck in a rut here. 46-46. I mean, this is St. John's an 11-game win streak. First in the Big East, trying to take over first place all alone with the UConn loss tonight, playing a 9-17 Marquette team, a team that is 4-11 in the Big East. And they're being outscored 11-2 in the second half. So, I don't know what was said in that Marquette locker room by Shaka Smart, but whatever it was, it worked. And St. John's on the other end has come out just flat, turning the ball over. Darling has entered the game really for the first time tonight. He played 6 minutes in the first half. He's now in here. And he got rejected big time. Made a nice cut to the rim, got a nice pass, and then just got it swatted away by James. So we got ourselves a ball game here. Big East upset night. James with 13 points, 6 of 11 from the field. He takes a seat on the bench to get a little bit of a breather. But James and Parham have had big games for Marquette. Into the front court, Marquette with the ball. It's Ross. Ross running the offense now. Goes, gets a pick, drives in the lane, left hand, and it's blocked by Prey. And out of bounds. And it's going to stay right here, out of bounds on Prey. But a good block as Ross tried to take it all the way. He got a good screen. And he looked like he thought he had an open lane to the hoop. And Prey came over and threw it out and blocked it out of bounds. Another substitution as Darling exits the game. He doesn't look too happy about it, but inbounding for Marquette into the corner. Three-pointer in. Good shot. Owens with the 3. And it's a 49-46 Marquette lead. St. John's now into the front court. They got to get it going here. Sellers has it. Now to Prey, top of the key. Hands it off to Mitchell. Now Jackson. Jackson has it. Jackson right wing. Inside to Prey. Prey back it in. Spins now, baseline, goes, and he's blocked out of bounds. The block is by Hamilton. Will stay right here at this end, and a big 3 by Owens at the other end on a good inbound. St. John's just left them all alone in the corner. He buries the 3 and a lead for Marquette. St. John's inbounding the ball. Mitchell gets it in to Leopoldis. Well, Leotopoulos. Now Prey at the top. Over. Leotopoulos has it. Here comes a three from the right wing, and it's partially blocked, and the foul called. Yes, it's a foul. It'll be 3 free throws. Foul on Hamilton on the 3. It was Sellers, I'm sorry, not Leotopoulos. Sellers on the 3. Yeah, he got him on the right arm. So not a smart play by Hamilton there. 3 free throws. First one on its way. In and out, no good. St. John's really struggling at the line tonight. 4 of 9 from the charity stripe. Second one on its way. Got the second one. Sellers tonight. 8 points in 15 minutes and a rebound to go with it. Third free throw is good. He hits 2 out of 3. St. John's cuts it to a 1-point Marquette lead. Full court pressure here from St. John's. Marquette looks to get it up. Now they back off a little bit, and James, who's back in after a short rest, gets it over the timeline. James looks, drives right hand into the lane. Finger roll up, no good. Foul called. And James will go back to the line. He has got some explosive speed. This freshman has played really well tonight. He's got 13 points. Back into the game comes Hopkins. He had 2 bad possessions, 2 bad passes, and got pulled by Patino. He got an earful over there, and now he's back in. Inbounding now. Here's Owens driving into the paint. Right hand up, no good. Rebound to Prey for St. John's, and they bring it up. St. John's can take the lead. Down 1 with the ball into the front court. Sellers has it. Now to Prey at the top. Prey hands it off to Jackson. Jackson looking. He picked up his dribble. He's got to do something. Gets it to Sellers. Sellers between the legs dribble. Drives to the right wing. 17-footer from the baseline is good. Oh, pretty fadeaway shot by Sellers. And St. John's regains the lead 50-49. Here comes, good pass by James inside. And a foul in the bucket by Norman. Oh, beautiful play. That was all facilitated by James, who drove it into the paint, made a beautiful pass from the baseline into a coming Norman, who was coming charging the hoop. He went up, Prey with the foul. A chance for a 3-point play. And St. John's, after taking the lead, they get something good happen. They can't play defense on the back end. The free throw is good by Norman, a 3-point play. It's a 2-point Marquette lead with 13:05 to go. 17-6. Marquette is outscoring St. John's here in the second half. St. John's came in the second half with a 9-point lead. They now trail by 2. Jackson has it. Jackson, top of the key. Long 3, no good. Back of the iron, too strong. Rebound to Marquette, and they're running up the floor. Ross has it. Ross into the front court. Slows it down. They'll now set up their offense. Ross looking. Out top. James has it. James now on Prey. It's a mismatch. He goes to the hoop and he lays it in. He stopped short. Prey caught up with him and he just kind of head faked his way around and puts in the layup. St. John's with the ball. Good. I mean, listen, Marquette is playing real well here in the second half. James has 13 points. 15 points now. Here's Hopkins. Long pass into Prey. Good. High-low play, and it's not going to count, I don't think. An offensive foul. Prey pushed off, I believe. Let's see what they called here. Well, I tell you, this Nigel James, point guard for Marquette, is really a good ball player. Inbound, Sellers for 3, in and out, no good. Rebound is bounced around and corralled by Parham. 4-point lead now for Marquette. They have the ball. Driving right side, going down to the ground, finds James up and, he got it up and under. Oh, James is unconscious. 6-point lead for Marquette. St. John's is being killed here in the second half. Timeout. St. John's 6-point lead for the Golden Eagles. 11:49 to go. Second half. This is St. John's basketball on Locked Up Sports.
Baseball is right around the corner. Warm weather, blue skies, and the crack of the bat. Spring training is here. Nobody covers the Yankees. Nobody covers the Mets like Locked Up Sports. Daily expert takes all season long the best baseball coverage on the internet.
I'm Bob Walters, host of Locked Up Sports, the best New York sports talk on the internet. Join myself and Brett Grasso every week as we break down all the happenings from the best sports town in the world and have conversations with some of the biggest names in New York sports, including former Mets general manager Steve Phillips.
We need a star player, but let's go get Piazza, and I finally got approval to do it.
The man who revolutionized special teams in the NFL, Coach Mike Westhoff.
But, all the things that he got accused of, he did them all. I know. Trust me, I know. He did them all.
And New York sports talk legend Joe Beningo, just to name a few.
But they gave this guy $35 million a year, $350 million for 10 years. What the hell were they thinking with this guy?
Yeah. If you're a sports fan, this is the podcast for you. We have all the insights, laughs, and entertaining perspectives you crave. Whether you're looking for a funny take on your favorite team or informative and entertaining conversation, Locked Up Sports has you covered. Subscribe today for the most entertaining and informative sports podcast around. Available anywhere you get your podcasts.
Back to the final whistle.
Don't go anywhere.
Stick around for the Locked Up Sports postgame show. Breakdowns, highlights, and the stories you can't miss. And tomorrow, we're back live to wrap up everything from the big game.
This isn't national sports talk. This is New York. And when it comes to their sports talk, they won't settle for anything less than the very best. That's why more New Yorkers get their sports talk from Locked Up Sports than anywhere else. The best New York sports talk on the internet.
You're listening to the NFL on Locked Up Sports.
All right, so back here, Marquette with a 56-50 lead. Things have just gone south here in the second half for St. John's, basically the whole way. They're being just outplayed in every facet of the game since the second half has started. They had a 9-point lead heading into the second half. They now trail by 6. The turnovers, and listen, it's been a lot of this Nigel James Jr., who's had himself a hell of a second half. But, I mean, Marquette has outscored St. John's 21-6 in the second half. And Nigel James, this last bucket, that he went up and then under two St. John's players with the underhand spin. It was Michael Jordan-esque right here. I don't know how he did it. But this kid can play, I'll tell you that. St. John's only 54% from the free throw line. That has not helped them. They're 6 of 11. The turnovers, they have 9 turnovers, which is not terrible. They've kind of corrected that, but the points in the paint is getting slaughtered by Marquette, 34-18. Marquette leads St. John's in the points in the paint. Nigel James has 10 points so far in the second half, 10 of the 21. St. John's inbounds the ball in the front court, trailing by 6, under 12 minutes to go. Ejiofor has it, hands it off to Sellers. Sellers, left wing now, Hopkins. Hopkins drives into the paint, looks, throws up a runner, no good. Rebound tipped around, still being tipped around and in. Oh, Hopkins ended up tipping in his own rebound. Good play by Hopkins. Now here's, and a turnover. James tried to throw it down to the three-point line. Throw it into the corner and a turnover. Here comes St. John's. Oh, well, then a kick ball. This one should stay with St. John's. 11:16 to go. 4-point Marquette lead. St. John's with the ball. Ejiofor has, good pass down low to Hopkins, and he's blocked, and a foul. Oh, he found Hopkins with a backdoor cut under the rim. Good pass. He went up for the jam, and he got fouled. That's not a dumb foul by Hamilton. 16 fouls now for Marquette. This is a shooting one, though. So here's Hopkins at the line. St. John's has really struggled at the line here tonight. First one good. And it's 56-53. Marquette If you're just joining us, UConn has already lost today, so St. John's looking to secure first place all alone. Top the Big East. Second free throw on its way, and it's good. He hit a pair. Good to see right there. The first one time St. John's hit all their free throws in one trip in a while. Now they're going to show some pressure. Gets it into James. James gets it over now to Ross. Ross back to James. James top of the key. Looking to take it into the paint. He does. Spins. He almost loses control. Back out to Parham. Now to Ross. Ross has it. Right wing now. James. He's looking to do this all himself. Now Ross. Left wing. Owens has it. Owens drives into the paint, loses a handle. It's picked up by St. John's. Turnover, Marquette. Hopkins has it into the front court. Hopkins looks, drives to the right baseline, pulls up his dribble, stops, now looking to get it, gets it to Ejiofor at the free throw line. He pulls up his dribble. Now it's Sellers outside to Hopkins. Oh, and a turnover, bad pass by St. John's. It goes out of bounds, and we're going the other way. Another just bad, lazy pass by St. John's in the front court. You cannot do this. St. John's had a bunch of those here tonight. Just, it seemed like a lazy pass, a bounce pass, and it was Ross that stepped right in front of it. It ended up going out of bounds off of St. John's. Marquette with the ball and a 2-point lead as we come up on the halfway point, the 10-minute mark of the second half. James dribbles it over the front, into the front court. Right wing now. James has it, drives, right hand into the paint, goes for the layup, and it's rejected. Oh, big block. St. John's the other way with numbers. Here comes Jackson, and he gets it all the way, and he banks it off the glass and in. Into the front court. They're going quick now. Here is a three from Ross. No good. St. John's with the rebound. The game is tied. Into the front court. Here comes Mitchell. Mitchell back out. Hopkins for three. Got it. Big shot by St. John's, and they have the 3-point lead. Timeout. Marquette 59-56. St. John's with 7 straight points. A big block at the other end as James tried to take it the whole way. Jackson came back the other way, put it in off the glass. And a big swing here in the last minute as Hopkins completed the run with a 3-pointer. Timeout, Marquette. St. John's back on top, 59-56. And that is exactly what St. John's needed. They needed that in the worst way. Started with the 2 free throws by Hopkins, then a couple good then one bad possession by St. John's with the lazy pass. But they ended up... nothing came of it with the block on the other end. Jackson in transition all the way. And then again, another turnover by Marquette. And Hopkins with the big 3. And St. John's has a 3-point lead. Just under 10 minutes to go here in this one. St. John's 20-5, 13-1. They are looking for their 12th straight win, 9-0 run. St. John's has answered back here. Marquette outplayed them. Let's be real, they outplayed them. They were killing them in the first 10 minutes of the second half. Marquette inbounding. St. John's puts a little pressure on, then they back off once the ball is inbounded. James has it across the timeline, being guarded by Jackson. James between the legs, looks to drives left side. Good defense by St. John's, staying in front of him. Now it's Ross. Ross has it. Ross, right hand, looking, drives into the paint, into the corner. James has it, fakes the 3, back to Ross. Here comes the 3 from the left wing, and it's good. And Marquette is matching St. John's. They're now tied, 59-59. Marquette, a little better here in the second half with the 3-pointers. St. John's into the front court. Ejiofor has it at the top of the key, looks, puts it on the floor. Here's Jackson. Jackson drives to the baseline, looking nowhere to go. It is a bad, wild layup. Rebound, though. St. John's with the offensive rebound. Here's Sellers for 3 from the right wing. No good. Oh, another offensive rebound, and Hopkins comes flying in out of nowhere. Nobody boxed him out. He put it off the glass. And St. John's back on top, 61-59. 8:40 to go. Stevens has it for Marquette. Stevens looks, nice pass into Ross. Ross holds it, 13-footer, no good. It's blocked again. Oh, St. John's, the defense has really picked up here in the last couple minutes. They've had 3 or 4 block shots just in the last, I'd say, 3 minutes of this game. Still only a 2-point lead for St. John's. Sellers has it near the label, into the front court. Gets it to Ejiofor, hands it off to Jackson. Down low, Hopkins spins into the paint, looking, head fake up, off the glass, and in, and the foul. Hopkins has taken it over for St. John's here in the second half. A big play. He goes back to the line for a 3-point play. Hopkins has really played well in the last couple minutes during the St. John's run to come back. He has 11 points now. Good head fake. The foul is going to be on Parham. Hopkins looking for a 3-point play. 63-59. St. John's looking to stretch it out to a 5-point lead. Free throw on its way. It's good. He's hit 3 of his last 3 free throws. 64-59. 8:02 to go. St. John's pressuring in the backcourt. They get it in. James now will slow it up as he walks it over the timeline, dribbling between his legs. Guarded by Darling. James looking, crosses it over at the 3-point line, still with the ball. 15 to shoot. Driving now is Stevens. Stevens back to James. James, they got to shoot. They got 7 to shoot. James still being guarded by Darling. Right wing into the paint, pulls up 14-footer. Good, got it. Oh, nice play. He's good with that pull up there, just inside the free throw line. And it's back to a 3-point line. The 3-point game. 64-61 St. John's. 7:20 to go in the second half. St. John's, Jackson has it in the front court now. Ejiofor. Hopkins looks, he's feeling it, thinks about it from 3, then thinks again, still has it, gets it to Darling. Darling looking, drives, puts it on the floor, right hand, into the corner. Here's Hopkins for 3. Off the front of the rim, no good, just short. Rebound to Marquette. James brings it up. James into the front court. Right wing, Stevens, back to James now. He fakes the 3, looks, pulls up, now up top, and it's gold for 3, and it's blocked. Another block by St. John's. And they bring it back into the front court. Oh, behind the back dribble by Mitchell. Mitchell looks, up top, Sellers for 3. Got it. Oh. Big shot. Sorry, that was Sannon with a big shot. A 3-pointer, 6-point lead for St. John's. Man, St. John's hitting their 3s now. Big ones by Hopkins and Sellers. Here is Ross. Ross backing in. Oh, hard on Darling as he was bumping him. Darling flew back. I don't know if they called the foul. I don't think they did. St. John's with the block shots all over the place in this second half. They blocked at least 5 shots in the last 4 minutes from Marquette, whether it be under the rim, that last one from 3-point line. Stevens was taking the 3, and listen, St. John's playing now is starting to pick it up. They're lucky they picked it up when they did, because they trailed by 6 at one point, being outscored 21-6 at one point in the second half. And now they have a 6-point lead, as this thing is a lot closer than a lot of people expected here tonight. St. John's blew out Marquette earlier in the season by 24 points in New York. They're ranked 17th in the country. They're looking for 12 in a row to come within 2 games of the Big East record for most wins in most consecutive wins. A record that they partly own, them and UConn. It was the Final Four team for St. John's that won 14 in a row. UConn, I believe, was two or 3 years ago. But St. John's with a win tonight, if they can hold off this Marquette team, they will be all alone in first place in the Big East. They do still have another game coming up with Connecticut. Get the upcoming schedule here for St. John's. They do play Connecticut one more time. They had that big win a couple weeks ago in Madison Square Garden. Let's see what they got here coming up. I don't know why that doesn't work. There we go. So they will play Creighton at home on Saturday, the 21st. Creighton coming off the win tonight. Then they get UConn on Wednesday, the 25th. So a week from today, UConn home to St. John's. UConn likely will drop in the standings regardless next week after the loss today to Creighton. So Creighton gets St. John's on Saturday, and then St. John's gets UConn on Wednesday in Stores. So that's going to be a big-time game. Could decide the conference, the regular season conference champion there. As we inch towards March here, every game gets that more important. St. John's with a 6-point lead. Just about 6 minutes left. Marquette with the ball. Inbounds it in. Stevens has it. Finds Ross. Ross thinks about the three now. Thinks again. Puts it on the floor. Right wing. Being guarded by Sellers. Ross backing in. Out to Stevens. He drives to the right wing. Then thinks about it. Pulls back. Ross with the three. No good. Wild shot. It went off the backboard. And a collision at the top of the key between Ross and Jackson. Jackson went over the top of him. Landed on his back and down on the floor. And in pain is Chase Ross from Marquette. That hurt. He's going to get up. He's going to be all right. But he like kind of bent down. It was almost like a hip check. And Jackson went right over him, landing almost on his back where he carried him. And you know what? I think it was his neck that he hurt. Because Jackson, trying not to fall off of him, kind of put his arm around the neck of Ross and then just went to the ground, took him to the ground on his back. I mean, nothing dirty about it. It was just kind of a weird looking takedown there. But it looks like Ross is going to be all right. He might have twisted his neck a little bit, but he stays in. James has it, drives right side into the paint, pulls up now, goes underneath with the finger roll, no good. He's cooled off after a really hot start here in the second half. Here comes St. John's into the front court, left wing. Hopkins for three, no good. Rebound, offensive rebound to St. John's. Ejiofor has it. Ejiofor looking now, backs it out, and St. John's will regroup. Good offensive rebounds lately, and the pass goes right through the hands of Mitchell and out of bounds. Turnover for St. John's. Into the game comes Sellers. Jackson will exit. Missed opportunity there for St. John's. After getting the offensive rebound, the ball goes right through the hands of Mitchell on a pass and out of bounds. 5.5 to go. Nigel James brings it up for Marquette. He had a big first 10 minutes or so. He carried this game in the second half. Marquette's cooled off after taking a 6-point lead at one point. Here is Ross has it. Ross drives left hand into the paint, kicks it out, left wing corner for three. No good. Rebound to St. John's. And they bring it up. 6-point lead in the ball. 5 minutes to go. Sellers. Hopkins now. Mitchell for three. No good off the front of the rim. Chase down though and on another offensive rebound for St. John's and Ejiofor. Ejiofor has it on the right baseline. Backs in into the paint. Throws up a runner. No good. Rebound to Marquette. 6-point lead. Good in there? Good in there? You good in there? Okay. I know, I'm going to. Front court. Marquette has it. Backing in is Parham, and he misses the layup. Parham, with a big first half, has really cooled off here in the second half. We really haven't heard from him. St. John's in the front court. Oh, good entry past the Sellers, and he's fouled as he goes up for the layup, misses the layup. I'm sorry, Ejiofor, for the pass from Sellers to Ejiofor, and Ejiofor will go to the line for St. John's. 6-point lead, 4:10 to go in this one. This is kind of a danger point here for Marquette. St. John's looking to kind of pull away a little bit and put this thing away. Marquette's gone cold recently after just a red-hot start in the second half. First free throw, short off the front of the rim, no good. Not a good-looking free throw right there from Ejiofor. Smart foul by Marquette, though, putting him on the line. Not a great free throw shooter. Second one is good. 7-point St. John's lead. They're going to do a little pressure here in the backcourt. James gets it up over the front, into the front court. James looks, drives, finds his man in the left wing in three-pointer. Here is now Ross. Ross drives into the paint. Back to James. James comes up, bounce pass. Ross drives to the paint now. Ross, a wild shot. The foul called on St. John's. And Chase Ross will go to the free throw line as he is limping around out there. Remember, he's the one that Jackson kind of fell on. So he'll go to the line when we come back. 68-61, St. John's, 7-point lead, 3:54 to go. This is St. John's basketball on Locked Up Sports.
The last class of the day for my student athletes isn't English, science, or math. It's school sports, where the #1 priority is teaching, just like every other classroom. As their coach, I help them grow as leaders and become better people, preparing them for the game and, more importantly, for life. That's why the best wins are the lessons they learn, which will impact them long after their playing days are over. Encourage your student to participate in school sports.
This message presented by the NFHS and the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
New York sports fans are some of the best fans in the world. They're knowledgeable, engaged, and passionate, and they expect nothing less from the shows they listen to. Everyone agrees when it comes to talking sports, there's the new authority. Whether it's former New York athletes,
Hey, this is Doc Good.
This is Cole Norn, familiar sports talk voices.
Everybody, this is Don LaGreca. Hi, everybody. It's Bob Huesler from The Fan.
Or you, the fans. Locked Up Sports is bringing you the best New York sports talk on the internet.
As a referee, I pay attention for a living. While I'm busy watching the game, I need your help keeping an eye on the stands. If you see something suspicious, make the right call. Tell a law enforcement official.
If you see something, say something is used with permission by the New York Metropolitan Transportation Authority.
All right, so St. John's with a 7-point lead. Marquette going to the free throw line to shoot a pair of free throws. Under 4 minutes, 3:54 to go in the game. We'll reset it for you here in just a second. St. John's came out in the second half with a 9-point lead. They could not, there was like a cover over the rim for a while. They were outscored 21-6 in the first 7 minutes. And Marquette took a 6-point lead at one point, but St. John's has battled back. And James, who really carried Marquette for the first, I'd say about 10 minutes of this second half, has cooled down a bit. St. John's has played some good defense. They got a ton of blocks in the second half. And they have a 6-point lead as they look to take first place, sole possession of first place. Zuby Ejiofor himself with 3 blocks here in the second half. James with 22 points, most of them coming in the second half, in the first 10 minutes of the second half. St. John's, 45% from the field, 44% from Marquette. 8 for 24 for St. John's from the 3, 5 for 13. Marquette has struggled. They picked it up a little bit here in the second half, but only 3 in the second half. Free throw is good. 6-point game. One more free throw to come for Marquette. Still plenty of time. 3:54 left. Second one on its way. It's good. He hit it both. It's a 5-point game. Marquette really playing well here tonight. Mitchell has it in the front court. Now Hopkins on the left wing for St. John's. 3:40 to go. Hopkins holding, directing traffic, gets it up top. Mitchell, top of the key. Sellers now has it. Sellers at the free throw line. Bounce pass into Ejiofor. Pumps fake around and in. Off the glass. Good play. Zuby Ejiofor. 70-63 St. John's. Ejiofor now with 6 points. He had only 1 point in the first half. He's made a difference here. He's made a difference mostly on the defensive end. But right there with a good pass and a good interior pass into the paint, Ejiofor, head fake around and then put it off the glasses. There's a Marquette player who looks like he's got hit in the nose. He's got a bloody nose, so he's going to have to come out. I can't see the number, who it is. But either way, it is it Chase? Is it Chase Ross? Yeah, I believe it's Ross who had to come out. So it'll be Marquette ball. Nigel James, 22 points, leading the game. Parham had a big first half. He has 13 points. Only 2 in the second half here, though. James brings it across in the front court for Marquette. They trail by 7. They got to get going. 3:20 to go. Back out. Fake 3. Here's Stevens. Back to James. James head fake the 3. Now pulls up his dribble. Bounce pass inside, and it's intercepted St. John's. Turnover Marquette. Sellers with the big play right there to steal the ball, and St. John's will slow it down. They're going to eat some of this clock. Under 3 minutes to go. 7-point lead. Ejiofor inside to Sellers, who gets it off the rim, and no good. It rims around and out, but a foul. It'll be Sannon, not Sellers, Sannon going to the line. 2:56 left, 7-point lead for St. John's. First free throw from Sannon, up and good. St. John's has started to take control of this game a little bit. Good defense all over the place. Second free throw, in and out, no good. Rebound to Ross. Ross over the timeline, right wing now. Gives it back to Parham. Parham has it for Marquette. Handoff. Back now. Stevens has it. Stevens, left wing, looking to drive to the free throw line. Pulls up his dribble. Now gives it to James. James drives. Right hand. A lob shot. No good. Nothing but air on that one. And Darling has the ball. Walks it slowly over the timeline. 2:20 to go. St. John's looking to put a cap on this one. They lead by 8. This is a big possession right here for Marquette if they want to have a chance. Darling has it. Darling drives left wing to the elbow. Now kicks it back out. Here's a 3. In and out. No good. Rebound batted around, and it's still loose, and it's picked up by Hopkins, and it has it rejected, and now Marquette has it. Marquette into the front court. Here's Ross. Ross pulls up his dribble. Ooh, I don't know why he did that. Gets it out now to Stevens. Stevens drives. Nice pass to James in the inside, and he lays it up. No good. He goes to the ground. No foul called. Back out. 3-pointer for Gold. No, off the rim, and St. John's comes down with the rebound. Oh, big missed opportunity for Marquette on there. That right there, they could have got it a little bit closer. 1:32 to go. Second half, 8-point lead for St. John's, and it's starting to look like they're going to hold on here. Driving right side into the paint, spinning is Hopkins. It is no good. Oh, it bounced around on the rim for a little bit. Couldn't get it to fall. James now has it. Marquette needs a basket here desperately. 1:10 to go. James, between the leg dribble, 3-point line. Now the Ross. Stevens, left side, pulls up long 3. Got it. Oh, big shot for Marquette. Timeout. Big time shot. 61 seconds left. Stevens buries the 3. 71-66. St. John's has a 5-point lead. Missed opportunities. If Marquette got something on the previous possession, they could have got it. They could be within a possession. St. John's could have put it away on the last 2 possessions. 61 seconds left. 5-point lead for St. John's. This is St. John's basketball. Locked Up Sports.
The last class of the day for my student athletes isn't English, science, or math. It's school sports, where the #1 priority is teaching, just like every other classroom. As their coach, I help them grow as leaders and become better people, preparing them for the game and, more importantly, for life. That's why the best wins are the lessons they learn, which will impact them long after their playing days are over. Encourage your student to participate in school sports.
This message presented by the NFHS and the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
New York sports fans are some of the best fans in the world. They're knowledgeable, engaged, and passionate, and they expect nothing less from the shows they listen to. Everyone agrees when it comes to talking sports, there's the new authority. Whether it's former New York athletes,
Hey, this is Doc Good.
This is Colton Orr, familiar sports talk voices,
Everybody, this is Don LaGreca. Hi, everybody. It's Bob Huesler from The Fan.
or you, the fans.
All right, so we're back. St. John's inbounds the ball. Under a minute to go, 55 seconds. Pressure now from Marquette. St. John's gets it into the front court. Marquette's going to have to, they're going to play defense here on this one. Oh, and he picks his pocket. A steal. Marquette's got it. James goes to the rim and he's fouled. Oh, he missed the layup. Oh, they picked the pocket. It was Stevens that picked the pocket of Mitchell, and a turnover at the worst time for St. John's. Oh, man. Terrible. It was Sannon that got it, that had his pocket picked. Never saw Stevens coming. He just went right behind them, got it. And now it'll be Norman at the line for Marquette, shooting the ball with the clock stopped. And Bettino is not happy. Sannon never saw him coming. You got to have more awareness than that. You got to feel something. He's just dribbling the ball, and they just came and took it from him. 5-point lead. Still plenty of time. 44 seconds left. And Norman at the line for Marquette. Big free throws. They could cut it to a one-possession game here, and then they could play defense. And he misses the first one. Too strong off the back of the iron. Pressure free throws here. Second one on its way. Good. Got one of two. It's a 4-point St. John's lead. Pressure in the backcourt. They're looking. That St. John's gets it in. Ejiofor has it being double teamed. Gets it to Sannon. Sannon brings it ahead. Right wing. Now here's Leotopoulos off the rim. No good. And a foul called on the rebound. Leotopoulos too strong on the drive. 38 seconds to go. Double bonus for St. John's. Once they broke the press, they were able to get it into the front court. Leotopoulos just was fouled. He just couldn't make the layup, and he goes down to the line. First one, good, makes it. 5-point lead for the Red Storm. 38 seconds left. James comes back into the game. He's the game's leading scorer, 22 points. Leotopoulos, 8 points. 1 3-pointer. He's 2 of 3 from the field. He had a couple of big shots late in the first half. I'm gonna wipe some sweat off the floor. St. John's 5-point lead, looking to make it 6 with the second free throw. It's on its way, and it's rims out, no good. 5-point lead. Here comes Marquette. They're gonna have to push it. James into the front court has it. 30 seconds to go. Left wing. Stevens back to James. James drives into the paint, throws up with the right hand off the glass and in. Oh, pretty drive by James, and it was a foul. I don't know if they called the foul. I think they might have. 72-69, 3-point game. James just blew past Ejiofor. And yeah, I think he fouled him. I think they called a foul. They absolutely did. Pretty. This guy's got some pretty drives with the finger rolls. So now they get cut into a 2-point game. Free throw on its way, and it rolls over the front of the rim and in. It's a 2-point game with 27 seconds left. Oh, man. Marquette is just hanging around. James comes out. The substitute offense for defense. Inbound, gets it in. Looking, St. John's in the backcourt. Ejiofor has it, lob pass. They still not over the timeline yet, and a foul called with 21 seconds to go. Ejiofor will go to the line for St. John's. 2-point lead. Pressure free throws coming for Zuby Ejiofor. St. John's trying to take over sole possession of first place, and it's not going to be easy. 72-70, 21.7 on the clock. Zuby Ejiofor at the line, shooting a pair. First one, good, makes it, good free throw. Patino is he's gonna have no voice tomorrow. He's really giving it to his players here today. St. John's has not played a great game. Second one from Ejiofor, big one right here to make it a 2-possession game. It is off the front of the rim, off the back of the rim, and in. Oh, it went off the front, the back, and then dropped. 4-point lead for St. John's. Marquette still does not need a three-pointer. 21 seconds left. They can play the foul game and just to hope that St. John's eventually misses one. And St. John, like I said, nothing's coming easy here. It's one of those nights in the Big East. UConn loses to Creighton in the early game. Opens the door for St. John's to take over first place all by themselves to get their win streak to 12. And they had a 9-point lead at the half. Marquette came out on fire in the second half, took a 6-point lead. St. John's then battled back. They got the lead back. They haven't given it up really since. They've been in the lead most of the last 10 minutes of the second half. But it's been, it's been rocky. It's been the 2-point lead, 6-point lead, stuff like that. They haven't gotten it over 6. It's now 74-70. It's a 4-point lead. Listen, if St. John's hits their free throws, they should win this game. But they have not been great from the charity stripe. I mean, they've been better recently in the last couple minutes, but they are just 14 of 22, 63% from the free throw line tonight. St. John's looking to hold on here. Nigel James has been incredible for Marquette in the second half. Nigel James Jr., 25 points in 34 minutes. He's played basically the whole game. He's got 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and he has carried this Marquette team. Parham had a good first half. He's got 13. He had 11 in the first half, only 2 here in the second. So here's now Marquette inbounding with 21 seconds to go. They get it in. Ross brings it up. Ross over them into the front court. Ross looking to drive, goes to the hoop. He lays it up and it rounded out. No good. Rebound St. John's and a foul. And that is a huge miss. Ross went to the hoop. He tried to lay it in. St. John's was not really defending too tough because they didn't want to foul. They went around and out, and Hopkins grabbed the rebound. And now St. John's is in the driver's seat. 4-point lead. Hopkins with 21 points, another big night. 8 for 14 from the field, 10 rebounds, a double-double for Hopkins. Now he's looking to ice it at the line. First one on its way, good, makes it. Hopkins hit some big free throws a couple minutes ago. Hits a big one there. He's got one more to go. Now, if you're Marquette, you're going to have to start thinking, yeah, we need threes. With only 12 seconds to go, they're going to have to just come down and take a 3. Second one on its way. Good. He makes it 6-point St. John's lead with 12 seconds to go, 12.9. St. John's going to pressure the inbound. They get it in. Here comes James over the front, into the front court. James pump fakes, leans into a 3, and it's no good, in and out. Rebound to St. John's, and they're going to win it. dribbles it out, 1 second to go, and St. John's is in first place in the Big East. All by themselves, they hold on 76-70 in Milwaukee, beating Marquette. It wasn't easy. It was not easy at all in the second half, but St. John's, with Hopkins in a big game with 22 points, and they survived. Ejiofor only, did not have a ton of points. He had 1 in the first half. He had 9 in the second half. He finishes with 10. But Hopkins is the big star, 23 points. He played a hell of a game. And so did Nigel James from Marquette. Give him credit. 22 points for him. He carried this team in the second half, but St. John's survives. They've won 12 in a row. They are in first place in the Big East all by themselves with the UConn loss today. They have Creighton coming up at home on Saturday, and then a big trip to Storrs, Connecticut, and St. John and UConn next week. Your final tonight in Marquette, St. John's 76, Marquette 70. St. John's wins it, their 12th straight, first place in the Big East. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for listening. This has been St. John's Basketball on Locked Up Sports. Don't forget, you can find us anywhere you get your podcast. You could also find us at our website, lockedupsports.net. And as always, right here on YouTube or Twitch and all social media. So that does it for us. Good one for St. John's. They win 76-70. We'll talk to you later, everybody. I'm Bob Walters. Big win for St. John's tonight. See ya.